This week in Women in Sports, from a standout athlete to leading the next generation. We catch up with the Edina girls tennis coach to learn about positive coaching and how she's growing the game. Then, a Minnesota soccer player is having a standout rookie season in the pros. Meet Sophia Boman ahead of the playoffs. And later, the WNBA is back. See which team has the best odds to win it all this year.
WCCO's Women in Sports, sponsored by Franson Bank and Trust.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Amelia Santaniello, subbing for Marielle. Here at WCCO, we are celebrating the highlights of female athletes in this digital segment called Women in Sports. We'll share new stories with you every week right here as we do our part to give these athletes the recognition they deserve. We're going to start the show with a woman who brought her kindness all the way from England to show it is more than just a word. Photojournalist Tony Peterson and Jeff Wagner show us how a cyclist is spelling it out across Minnesota and Iowa.
I'm about 130 miles into 2,000 miles.
She's biked across America before. This time is different.
Having the quadricycle is very much around inviting people to come into the second seat.
The ride is 2,000 miles, and her route spells out kindness, literally. She's hoping people join her on the second seat to talk about kindness and how the world needs more of it.
Every time I meet people on these journeys or these adventures that I'm doing, you connect with people, you share your life story, and they share theirs.
The ride started May 1st and should be done by May 23rd, barring any injuries or setbacks.
Going along on the bike and you just think, this is so hard, and you're in that wind, having somebody kind of salute or wave, or it just makes such a difference.
Summers did this in England and has come to Minnesota to continue spreading the kindness.
People need the good news.
The Kindness Mission helps to raise awareness for her website, Sunshine People. As she travels, she stays with hosts from Warm Shower, a community supporting people like Nahala and her cause for kindness.
From the little bit of time that we've had to chat, I am like 100% firm believer in everything that she's about.
In Clearwater, with photojournalist Tony Peterson, Jeff Wagner, WCCO News.
Well, it's no secret that Edina is a tennis town. Tennis towns create talented players. Our Marielle Mose connects with the woman responsible for keeping history alive while bringing up the next generation.
Grab some balls. Get the feet going right away.
The tennis court is where Jaime Gaard belongs.
Yes, good ball. I had a racket in my hand when I was 4 years old.
Teaching the game has turned her passion into a profession here at Interlochen Country Club over the last 11 years, but also as head coach at Edina High School, her alma mater. She competed for the Hornets Dynasty girls tennis program under legendary coach Steve Paulson, who racked up 23 state titles, 19 of those consecutive. When he retired 7 years ago, Jaime took over.
I really wanted it to go to an alumnus who was going to come in and continue the values and continue promoting a team-first perspective.
For Jaime, coaching is a way to reinvest in a sport that's given her so much.
I want to brag for you for a bit. You have an amazing career. You mentioned state champion, an All-American. You're in the Edina Athletics Hall of Fame. You've been Coach of the Year. What does success mean to you, like if you could define it?
I love that question. I think it's finding joy in what you're doing. I think success looks like doing the very best that you can to maximize what you have that day. And if it wasn't quite where you needed to be, success is reflecting and trying to be 1% better the next day.
Nice, nice. We have a hero in our midst.
Yes, yeah. A local hero.
Erin Schultz and Katie Aronson are two of Jaime's many students, spanning all ages and levels. Her goal as a coach is to create a safe space for all who pick up a racket.
She's just really positive, gives it like easy things to work on.
She's always encouraging me to come to the net and be more aggressive, and I think that's like the main focus she's given me, which has been really fun to challenge myself.
And that challenge is paying off. The game is growing, up 10% nationally from last year.
USTA just reported that women in tennis grew by 1.1 million in the last year. So that's an exceptional stat.
In Edina, Marielle Mose, WCCO Sports.
Hear more of this conversation with Jaime Gaard in this week's Women in Sports podcast. Jaime talks about her method of positive coaching and the performance academy she has built with her sister. And that episode is out now. This weekend, Twin Cities in Motion is hosting its annual Women Run the Cities race. It's a great opportunity to get active in a supportive environment. This week, WCCO had a chance to sit down with organizers Jesse Sand and Larissa Estrada for more on the exciting event. But first, Jesse, I want to start with you. If you can talk a little bit more about Women Run the Cities and its core mission and its purpose.
Absolutely. So Women Run the Cities is about 20 years old, and our mission is to bring an event that empowers women. So no matter how old you are, how experienced you are, your pace, that you feel welcome. We make it easy. You're going to be surrounded by sisterhood. I mean, everyone supports each other. And we bring out the little girls as well, so they're cheering you on and give you some extra energy.
With 20 years of doing this, I'm sure you have some great stories, some funny stories, some inspiring stories about why women choose to get involved.
Absolutely. Last year there was a bachelorette party, so we had them come up and it was like, oh my gosh, they're all dressed the same, and we're like, it's a bachelorette party. So you see everything. I know people are running for mental health, so we have sobriety groups, vets. I just learned that you have 30 girlfriends joining us, celebrating a birthday party. So it's just everything.
It sounds wonderful. And Larissa, you're running this weekend. Can you tell us what you're running for this weekend?
Yeah, so I'm actually running the 10K, so I'll be doing 6.2 miles. And I signed up because my friend's birthday is that day, and the best way that she wanted to celebrate was to run with everyone. So it will be about 30 of us there. We're all going to be running different races, but we'll all be there together.
I think that's wonderful. I want to talk to you about this a little bit because I found this interesting. You just started running.
I did, yes.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, yes.
She didn't like running at all.
I did not like running. And sometimes I still
now
don't
you're
like
upset.
running.
Look at you.
Well, sometimes I still don't love it,
Yeah.
but it's a healthy outlet. I think that running came to me in a time when I needed it the most, and I'm just so happy to have found community through it.
And you decided to apply as an ambassador. Yes. Why did you decide to do that, and what does it feel like to be in this position?
Well, I did decide to apply as an ambassador earlier late last year is when applications opened. And it's similar to the work that I'm already doing. So I actually host my own run club. It's called Tierra Rec Club, and we're an outdoor recreation and run club for women, non-binary, and trans people here in Minneapolis. So to do that on a larger scale was very important to me, and I'm just really glad and happy to have that opportunity.
I love that you have thrown yourself into it, right?
After not liking it, yes, I just threw myself
Wonderful
on
example. Former Gophers soccer player is having a standout rookie season in the pros. Mariel caught up with Edina native Sophia Boman ahead of the playoffs.
It's definitely nice being in Florida where the weather is really nice, compared to Minnesota.
Sophia Boman is soaking in the Florida sunshine on the pitch for Sporting Jacks in her professional debut. The expansion team in the USL Super League is sitting at the top of the standings right now with a playoff spot clinched.
With a 3-0 lead, there's Boman.
I didn't exactly know what to expect coming in here, especially since we're a new team. There's no players that were here before. Everyone just came in on a blank slate. But I think just overall, having more platform for professional women's soccer has been awesome in the U.S.
In her pro debut, she's had 6 goals. One of them, a header.
That one headed away and it goes in!
I always had dreams of going pro and made that pretty clear to my coaches at the U of M.
The Gopher alum credits her former head coach Erin Chastain for preparing her for the pros. In fact, her graduating class had 4 players go to the next level. Kaya Harper joined Gotham FC in the NWSL, becoming a national champion her rookie year. Sophia Boman plays professionally in Iceland, and Evelyn Calhoun in Australia.
What does that say about the Gopher program and what Coach Chastain is creating and the launch pad it creates for players like yourself?
I think it really just puts Gopher soccer on the map and saying, they're a great program that's going to set players up to play professionally, whether that's in the U.S., abroad. They have a lot of connections, and they also, I think, develop really strong players.
Marielle Mose, WCCO Sports.
Playoffs begin May 24th with the championship on May 30th. An illness kept the Minnesota Frost off the ice, but only for a night. The women's hockey team was supposed to face off against Montreal and the Walter Cup playoffs in Quebec Monday, but the league postponed the game due to player safety concerns related to illness. Doctors said that the symptoms are not consistent with hantavirus. The teams went on to play on Tuesday. Unfortunately for the Frost, though, they experienced a foreign feeling, losing a postseason series. This week, they were officially eliminated in Game 5 of the semifinals by Montreal. Marie-Philippe Poulin has destroyed the Frost this year. She scored the game winner on Tuesday night in the third. It was her fourth game winner against Minnesota this season alone. Fitting that it was her to end the Frost quest for a three-peat.
I think it's hard to win a Walter Cup. It's hard to win a 5-game series, and I think we've been on both sides of it now. And for those that haven't, they've experienced the other side of it today. So it's hard to win, and that's why you play the game.
Regardless of the final loss, crowds were out supporting both the Frost and the Wild. Fans enjoyed the playoffs and the start of patio season together. Marielle shows us how it also became a huge boom for businesses.
Oh, this place is legendary.
It's a locally owned business in the heart of downtown Minneapolis for more than 40 years.
We've been able to stay alive, vibrant, and relevant. And we just kind of stick to who we are.
Lions Pub has seen every Minnesota sports high and low, and the last 3 summers have been nothing but highs when it comes to the Wolves.
Pays the bills, just for the business, the employees, myself personally. I mean, it's everything to us. It really is.
Jason Leslin has worked in the kitchen of Lions Pub for 13 years, and he says playoff home game days are something special.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like 0 to 60 all day, So, and then all of a sudden it gets to be about half hour before game time, the place empties out, and now we're all able to just kind of catch our breath and go, wow, did we just do that?
On the other side of the river in St. Paul, they have 2 playoff teams, the Wild and the Frost, drawing big crowds to West 7th Street bars and restaurants. On Saturday, the street shut down for the first Wild home game of the second round against the Avalanche, and it was a hit among fans. This excitement leads to more sales at clothing stores, too.
These 2 are probably our most popular item that we have at the moment. People order them on Instagram. They come in specifically looking for these because they've seen them on Instagram.
U of M sophomore Isabel Hami works at Smileback Vintage in Dinkytown, and she says most of their customers are looking for game day gear for just 2 teams right now.
Especially after sporting events, I see a lot of people come in here, or before, looking for clothes for the events. That brings in a lot of people.
Marielle Mose, WCCO News.
The WNBA tipped off its 30th season this week. Sportsbooks give the New York Liberty the best odds to win a title. They won it all back in 2024. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark says that she's ready after missing most of last season.
There's going to be some tough games this year. It's, unrealistic to expect myself to perform for 44 games. There's going to be some games where you just don't make shots, and just reminding myself of that.
A new collective bargaining agreement dramatically increased WNBA salaries. The average paycheck jumped from $120,000 to $500,000. Rookie Olivia Miles was all over the place in the Lynx opener this week. Minnesota led almost the entire way, but the key word there is almost. The team was hosting Atlanta and dominating early. Olivia Miles had a pretty finger roll for her first WNBA bucket. She led Minnesota with 21 points and 8 assists. The Dream erased a big lead and tied it, but Kayla McBride put Minnesota back in front. Sadly, it did not hold. A jumper gave Atlanta their first lead of the game with just 11 seconds left. Minnesota loses game number 1. Final score 91-90. The team is clearly still getting used to playing without Napheesa Collier. She had a surgery on both ankles in the offseason and won't start activities until next month. By default, the team turns to Kayla McBride for more scoring, or perhaps Courtney Williams. But when it comes down to it, a holistic approach is required.
You have to do it collectively. That's the one thing we know for sure. And we want to continue to have a team that even though that the new CBA has made it a little bit more challenging to have a little more depth and breadth to your roster, we're going to still work really hard to see if we can't make that happen. And our strength has to continue to be the collective as opposed to just one.
Thanks for watching this week's Women in Sports. I'm Amelia Santaniello, and we'll be back with more great stories next week.